Danica Patrick failed at trying to wreck Landon Castle. How are you in NASCAR? Alex Kennedy blindly rejoined the track to collect more cars after a wreck already happened. How are you in NASCAR? NASCAR drivers can fail a lot, and sometimes bad enough to where you can even question why they're in the sport to begin with. And these are those moments. Towards the end of Jimmie Johnson's career, he had a couple of questionable moments. In 2018's cutoff race at the Charlotte Roval, Johnson was locked into the next round of the playoffs if he took second place. But with the win right in front of you, how do you not feel the urge to go right for it? But by making this decision and spinning out in a full effort to win the race, ended up costing him a chance at making it into the next round.
Here comes Jimmie Johnson! Locks the brakes up! And he's gonna slide! He slides through the middle! Truex gets tagged! Ryan Blaney and the 12 will win!
And just like a NASCAR driver, I too have a sponsor to share with you. Today's sponsor is Factor, a nutritious meal plan service that matches food to your desired lifestyle. Factor meals always arrive pre-prepared and are ready to eat in 2 minutes, which is honestly pretty perfect if you're always busy and on the move. Your meal is delivered fresh, never frozen, straight to your door. Factor meals can be heated in the oven or microwave. Just heat, eat, and enjoy. Thanks to Factor, I'm ensured that I can enjoy quality and nutritious meals even whenever I'm in a hurry. I can just pop one in the microwave before a NASCAR race and not miss any of the action. As a bonus, they also save me unnecessary trips to the drive-thru. They even sent me some of their smoothies like this tropical fruit one I can have while doing a hobby like sim racing. So head to go.factor75.com/Gator120 and use code Gator120 to get $120 off. That's go.factor75.com/Gator120 and use code Gator120 to get $120 off. Now let's head on over to Darlington Raceway for some more NASCAR moments. At this very point in 2020, Johnson was leading and had previously not won a race in literal years. Stage 1 was coming to a close and the announcers were impressed with Jimmie's performance. After hyping up the fact that he was about to win the stage, he pulled this move on the lapped car of Chris Buescher.
In the beginning of a run, not use up too much of those tires, not build those air pressures up too much, and he's also, Jimmie Johnson going around!
Into the wall hard!
Unbelievable, our leader. Shaking his head, boy, you know he's frustrated with that. Had such a great car, great race going on.
Johnson was a couple of 100 feet for only his 3rd stage win since NASCAR adopted this form of racing.
The announcers completely jinxed him, and the crash off turn 2 was devastating for everyone watching. Some fans claim this was Buescher's fault. I don't exactly know how, but I'm not here to debate it. With a comfortable gap over second place and one set of corners to go, you have to wonder how a NASCAR driver like Jimmie Johnson wasn't just a bit more patient. And now that I put Jimmie Johnson in this video, all I have to do is wait for the comments that tell me he won 7 championships. Should have been 6. Since we're on the topic of the number 48, let's see if we can reach 4,800 likes on this video. Kyle Busch wrecked David Reutimann in the 2010 Price Chopper 400 at Kansas, sending him into the outside wall. With minimal damage, David was able to continue on in the race, and even tried to wreck Kyle Busch off too multiple laps later. But one way not to get paybacks is by wrecking yourself. Misjudging the retaliation or simply not knowing how car physics work may make you question how Reutimann was even in NASCAR to begin with.
On board with Kyle.
Still there. He wrecked himself. Keep coming. There will be a caution.
How much damage on Kyle? Let's listen in.
It's killed. The car is destroyed.
Denny Hamlin has to have been the most penalized driver on pit road for the last 7 years or so. It really seems like every other race he's caught speeding on pit road or facing a penalty to that extent. For a team and driver to commit this many penalties each season is very odd because you'd think they would have corrected the mistakes by now.
Yeah, you can see the front tires locked up right there. But I saw the left rear locking up as well. And Larry, that's pretty much the most major of penalties you can have on pit road.
Here he comes in. You're going to see him slide the tires, and he's going to slide over the front of his box. Now he backs it up, but before he backs it up all the way in, you can see right there, he's still not in his box.
Denny Hamlin pull off the bank, he can come.
He might have missed. He missed pit road.
He missed it.
And Denny Hamlin nabbed for too fast exiting pit road.
Boy, Denny Hamlin has had a tough time on pit road in recent years.
David Reagan was in a prime position to win the 2011 Daytona 500 as he faced a restart with 2 laps to go. However, he broke one of the most basic rules in NASCAR. You can't change lanes before you pass the start-finish line. And after a great launch, he got clear of Trevor Bayne and knew he had to control the lead. David Reagan threw away his best chance to win the Daytona 500. As much as this moment makes you wonder how the 6 cars in NASCAR, he somewhat gets a pass as a driver who is rarely in the lead, and he's never experienced being in that position before.
Watch the 6 of David Reagan. He must maintain lane position to the start-finish line for this to be a legal start. When he changes lane, he has violated NASCAR procedure, and he'll get a black flag.
2016 saw a last lap battle between Denny Hamlin and a driver who hadn't won in years, Tony Stewart. Stewart was leading with half the racetrack to go, but Hamlin came in with a full send in turn 7, knocking the 14 out of the racing groove. As he navigated the S's, Hamlin had a few seconds to think about what form of payback was coming. A send by Tony Stewart was highly anticipated, and in the final corner, Hamlin overshoots the turn, giving the race away.
Here we go. Stewart inside. He
Hamlin
is there.
won.
He
What in
gets
the world?
Hamlin. They
Whoa.
hit. And Stewart comes off turn 11. Look at that. And he's coming to the flag.
How did that just
Tony
happen?
Stewart. How did that happen?
I reckon this moment is identical to Kevin Harvick overshooting turn 1 at the Charlotte Roval in 2021, which unfortunately will not be on this list. In the year 2020, a race team named Starcom hired driver Quinn Hoff. He consistently ran near last place each week, which wasn't the problem. While racing in the second groove at Texas with a car to his inside, Hoff tries to enter the pit lane. Normally when entering pit lane, you want to enter from the bottom lane and signal to the guys behind you when possible. And not only that, if you're on the top lane, you want to make sure you're clear to merge down. This one is on the spotter of the 00 just as much as it is the driver, and the part that sucks is that this was incredibly avoidable too. But congrats to the number 00 for making it onto this list twice.
Oh, he's coming down to try to get to pit road. Yeah, you can't.
Oh, got Matty D too.
I'm assuming he was trying to get to pit road and pitting from the middle of the racetrack.
This section counts for most back markers in the field, but the example I'm using is Cody Ware. Cody Ware notably wrecked with his teammate at Talladega, bringing out an unnecessary yellow. Oh, and he also spun during green flag pit stops that race too. A week later at Dover, he wrecked again. This kind of messed with the flow of the race, and he also hit contender Denny Hamlin in the process. Honestly, I just enjoy making his name into a pun on Twitter during races. Cody Ware, if you see this, I'm just joking. For the most part. I'm just hoping not to catch a block on Twitter.
Oh, 51 loses it, overcorrected, got in a wall right in front of the 11 of Denny Hamlin.
Oh, well, that's that 9 degrees of banking. You knew that 51 car is going to go from the top to the bottom.
I need to know what you think is the most iconic NASCAR fail over the last decade. Whether it's Danica Patrick wrecking herself while trying to get payback on Landon Castle, or Kevin Harvick getting nervous about Chase Elliott being right behind him. Let me know in the comments. I say it all the time, but I greatly appreciate all of you who make it to this point in each video. And maybe consider hitting subscribe so we can hit 100K someday. I don't upload at the rate I did before 2021, but I promise I still care about this channel probably even way more than back then, and I hope you can tell. That's pretty much it. See you in the next one.